Here's an interesting moment. After, as I said, there's so many clippings you can go listen to. As Ian is on the stand testifying, they came with their attorneys, Garrett Smith out of Arizona and Josh Gardner is Melanie's attorney in Idaho. Both of them were there during Melanie's testimony, sitting in the gallery directly across from their clients. And of course, you're not supposed to nod your head or do anything like that. I did not witness any of that. And then when Ian was on the stand, Garrett Smith stayed in the courtroom. And at one point, as Pryor was asking Ian questions, the judge said, we need to have a sidebar. They left the courtroom and came back in. And the judge said, we need to dismiss the jury quickly. The jury left. And then this happened.
All right, counsel, the court was advised of something that concerned me during the testimony of this witness, nothing that you did, Mr. Pulowski, but I do have a concern. Mr. Pulowski has counsel here in the courtroom. The attorney that's here representing Mr. Pulowski, I'm going to have him exit the courtroom at this time. If the marshals please assist him out of the courtroom, and he's not going to be permitted to remain through the testimony of this witness. Mr. Pryor, if you want to briefly inquire on the issue we raised on the sidebar, you may do that outside of the presence of the jurors, just as to whether or not there was any potential influence of the witness's testimony.
Mr. Pulowski, the gentleman who was just escorted out of the courtroom, do you know who that is?
Yes, it's Garrett Smith.
That's who?
Garrett Smith.
He's an attorney
Yes,
and he's licensed in which state?
Arizona.
Okay. And at this point, Mr. Smith was listening to your testimony. Is that correct?
Yes,
And at some point during the testimony, Mr. Smith was nodding his head and acknowledging to you about responses to my questions. Is that in fact true?
No.
Okay.
All right, that concludes the inquiry then, and we'll go ahead and have the jurors return for additional cross-examination. So if everyone would rise for the jurors, we'll go ahead and have the jurors brought back in.
And then the questioning continued. Again, I did not see Garrett nodding, but I don't see everything in there. I see a tenth, a fifth of what's happening. There's so many things going on. I did reach out to Garrett Smith to see if he wanted to provide a statement, and this is what he had to say tonight. I have the utmost respect for the court and this proceeding. I am not sure what I did to be asked to leave, but I can assure you that I did nothing improper, and that was not attempting to signal my client, as he affirmed to the court. I am sorry for any disruption that resulted. So Garrett says, Mr. Smith says he did not, signal, he did not do anything to his client, and he apologizes for the disruption. And it was a minor disruption. It wasn't a big thing.